Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining. This is our second webinar this year for the new release. I'm Ron Bro, CEO of TopStep. Thankful for everyone who could join. We're going to go through, highlight a few of the this last release's features that we hope you will potentially benefit from. So we went through the entire release and we tested all of the release items. There are a number of items that are more of a technical nature that are not going to be covered by today. Changes in the APIs and some other things. So if you are interested in more of the technical release items, either feel free to go through the release notes, or if you have questions, feel free to contact TopStep. We'd be happy to walk you through those. But for today, we're going to talk more about the UI changes that we saw and some of the more user-friendly changes that we saw in the enhancements of this last release. And those will copy some of the global changes, a few of the project changes, updated mobile app, and resources. So let's dig into these. So mobile app, they've added a new to-do widget. So everyone saw the new to-do option exposed in one of the previous releases inside of SuiteProjects Pro. They've now added that same widget available to sit both within your SuiteProjects Pro app, as well as you can add it to the front of your pages of your phone. So pretty cool concept here. So again, being able to use within the mobile app, being able to go to the to-do and be able to see what's there, and then be able to further drill down to be able to take actions on any items in the to-do list that are actionable. So nice little feature here. Also, this includes timesheets as well as expense reports for submitting, approving, or rejecting without having to get out of the to-do list. Okay, so let's talk about changes to the homepage and the dashboards. So in one of the previous releases, they released a new homepage which gave you a more modern Redwood experience around generating reports and generating dashboards. Well, this release, they introduced a new dashboard in addition to that new homepage. The new dashboard is a little more powerful. There's no quantity limitation in the new dashboard. So let's take a look and see what's in this new dashboard. Before we get into the new dashboard, in general, now you have the power to decide what do you want of the old. If you want to get rid of the old dashboard or the old homepage, it is now a role-based option. So we can streamline the home pages and the dashboard views for your users. For the next generation dashboard option, you do have to enable this through support. And then it does expose a new dashboard option. And so this one, you can add up to 16 sections across 4 content regions. You get a lot of the same layout and content types as the 2024.2 next generation homepage. And this dashboard is also now available to be shared through the bulk user wizard for pushing these out to your user base. They've also extended some of the report coverage. There is an advanced report called Project Financial Analysis that is now available to be added to the dashboard. So this could be a very nice report that is out of the box that can give you a lot of your financial analysis of your projects. Project discussions. Project discussions came out in one of the previous releases, and we were told it's just the very beginning of what this is going to be capable of. And sure enough, they have enhanced it to where it's much more usable now in this new release. So let's talk about some of the changes they made with project discussions. Being able to reply in the thread. This is important. that was missing. So being able to start a discussion, but then reply and then reply. And so this allows us to be able to track replies inside of the discussions as well. You can edit your own reply. You can delete your own reply only if you are the author of that reply or if you are an admin. So there are some limitations to making sure that those cannot be edited or deleted by other users. Also being able to expose rich text messaging now. So you can use bold, italic, and underlining, be able to change colors, etc., and search emojis. So you can now, instead of just, better convey your messaging, your discussion by using a lot of these elements we're used to using in all our other tools. There, we did find one odd behavior. If you're changing the text type, heading to paragraph, it doesn't work as expected. So play around with this and make sure that, as you're changing some of this, it's working the way that you would expect it to. And then you have the ability now to see unread messages. So it splits the messages now between unread and read. So you can see all messages and unread messages and being able to then mark messages as read or unread by clicking into them or by manually marking them as unread if you want to revisit them later. And this is something my tech team is excited about. We are often asked to build integrations to capture data within a project. And, we can capture that in custom fields. We can capture that using the issues or items link. But now they've opened up the API and the scripting to include project discussion. So if you're looking to say, I want to track, when did my project move from one stage to another in a way that we can keep track of changes over the period, discussions are now accessible by the APIs and the scripting engine. So we can now sync those, any of those audits you want to track, or sync those discussions from other systems as well to back and forth. So we're excited that we can now get to those and make good use of those. Global search been expanded as promised. You can now search much more values than when it first came out, which was just users, clients, and projects. So we'll go through some of the expansion items here. You can search by dates. So if you're looking for items in a certain date, partial dates, years, you can now be able to search there. Expense reports, if you know the tracking number of your expense reports, you can type in those tracking numbers and pull up expense reports directly as well. You can search by assignment groups, and be able to search tasks by the different assignment groups that are assigned. And then you can also search projects, but then access the project discussion records from the project search output. So as you pull up this project, you can, instead of having to drill into the project, then drill into the discussion, you can actually now go directly into the discussions from the search output. I'm going to back up a bit real quick just to show some of the other records we didn't talk about. Contacts by looking at nicknames or job titles, email is another one that you can now do as well. Inline editing in the list feature for issues. So we find a lot of customers looking to use the issue table, which you may see on your instance as items. You can use them for tracking all sorts of things. You can track them for risks, RAID log, or to-do actions within your project. But one of the limits has always been, in order to make a date update or change a standard field to mark something as resolved, you always had to edit open the form, make a change, and save it. Well, they've now added an inline editing to standard fields on the item table. So you can now go in and say, I've completed this risk or this action, and it is completed as of this date, and by using inline editing without having to have the extra clicks of opening the item. So we have a lot of customers that are going to definitely benefit from this feature. This was automatically pushed out, so there's no switch required. You should see this in your existing environments. And probably one of the biggest things we were excited about is this new resource center. This is meant to kind of mimic the project center and be able to show marry more resourcing and projects data together, similar to the way the project center does. But in this one, we are going to, there's going to not limit, by project. But although you can limit it by project, you can do some filtering. Now, just be aware, we've enabled this in our TopStep production account. While I'm excited what the potential is, it's not quite there yet. There's some good features, but it's very limited. But that was the same with the Project Center when it first came out. This is kind of what we're calling version 1 of this option, and we're excited where this can go. But let's talk about what you can do in this new resource center. It is a switch, so you do have to request it from support, and there is a requirement that if you turn this on, you have to be using booking types, and booking types have to be required. So that is something you need to decide if you are not using booking types, or if your booking types are not set on the back end to be required, then you may not be able to benefit from this new system option. Like the Project Center, it gives you both weekly and monthly views that you can toggle between. You can edit the bookings at the booking type level. So it will list out the user, it'll list out the project detail, and then it'll show the booking detail at the booking type level. And then from there, you can do inline editing, just like the Project Center, to update the weekly or monthly time periods. You can also change the booking type. They've also exposed the notes. So if you wanted to inline edit to update the notes or add notes in this view, you can do that. It's got a very simplistic search option today. We know more is coming, but right today, all you can do is a swap. So if you navigate to the action column next to the booking, you will see a magnifying glass that you can then pull up a list of other resources and swap resources. Be known, when you're doing this, you're only changing the resource for the values in the view. So if I'm looking at, for example, October and November only in my view, and I do a swap of resources, I'm not changing the past resources, and I'm not changing anyone after November. So just keep in mind, if you are using this to update users, it's only going to apply to, I'm sorry, I just reread that. You're not changing the past, but you will apply to all future bookings and the selected rows. You do get the color-coded overbooked warnings that you get in the Project Center. So that's super nice. Tells you, not that someone's, 100% over, but it also tells you the hours they're over booked. So again, I expect more to come here to get more warnings and indicators of availability, as well as indicators of overbooked, which you have today. And you can set utilization thresholds in some of the Project Center options to be able to see when these indicators pop up. There is a filtering, and you can customize columns. And so this is one of the things a lot of my customers are excited about. There's not really a way in the resource module, there's not a way at all, actually, to be able to commingle project data, project properties information, task information into a resource view. And now this is really going to be that view. And so you can add project properties details into the view. There are read-only today. You cannot make changes, but at least you could bring in who the project manager is, any custom fields you have on the project properties, tasks as well. So again, the very beginning of this feature, but you're going to start to marry the project and the resourcing into a place for resource managers to live. There are also advanced filters. So if you wanted to filter by customer or by project or by a particular department or user, you can filter those using your standard advanced filter capabilities. Now, just note there are some limitations. There's not a lot of options to filter. For example, active user is not an option today. So when I set this up in the TopStep account, I had to filter by department, and I had to manipulate the departments to remove some of the folks that are not that I didn't want to see in the report. It does show also people with 0 hours scheduled. So that is currently something we've created a few enhancement requests to add some additional functionality to be able to toggle between folks with hours and folks without. And it also gives you that same drag and drop capabilities that you get in the Project Center. So if I wanted to book 10 hours a week for the next 6 weeks, I put 10 hours in week 1 cell, and then I can just drag those 10 hours over the next 6 weeks, hit save, and I'm done. So we're excited about the potential for this new feature. This is version 1 here. It's a good feature. It's got a lot, we're excited about where it could go. And then our last feature wasn't actually released in this last release, but we are being told it's the first injection of AI into SuiteProjects Pro. And this is for automatically generating project summaries. So this is being able to say, what is the risk from, what are the risks in my project? What is my project doing? What are some of the highlights? And so the system be able to take AI and review the project and be able to come up with a project summary that you can use internally or externally with your clients. So again, something coming. We were told it's going to be coming in Q1, but they did list it as a 2025.2 release item. So that's all we have today. Thank you very much for joining. If you want to know more, please visit our website. Feel free to reach out to us through LinkedIn as well. And I'm Ron again. Happy to be here with you today. Have a great day.